Hi friends, guess what? We're going to finish reading chapter 4 today from The Mouse and the Motorcycle. Remember, this chapter is called Keith because it's the very first time that Ralph, the mouse, and Keith, the boy, actually found each other and start talking to each other. It's so exciting. And yesterday, Ralph realized that I'm stuck in the trash can. The boy's talking to me. He wants me to come out. I'm scared, but what do I have to lose? I'm going to be thrown into the garbage anyway. Well, he's not. Just don't worry about that part, okay? But while he was getting ready to come out, have the boy help him out, he heard something at the door. He heard the key going. So let's read. We're on page 36. If you have your book, follow along with me as we read Who's at the Door. Here we go. "Help!" cried Ralph. "The maid! Don't let her see me!" Why doesn't he want the maid to see him? Remember when they were talking about how she's got that vacuum? She could vacuum me up. She could throw me away. Before the boy could do anything, the maid burst into the room. "Oh, excuse me." She seemed surprised to see a boy kneeling by the wastebasket. "I've come to turn down the bed." "That's all right," said the boy quickly. I can do it myself. Thanks anyway." Why does he sound panicked? Does he want the maid to know that Ralph is there? No, of course he doesn't. "Thank you," said the maid, backing out of the room. Ralph knew she was not anxious to waste time turning down the bed. As soon as she finished her duties, she was going out to the parking lot to meet a busboy, a college boy whose job was clearing tables in the dining room. So Ralph is like, she doesn't care if she doesn't get to turn down the covers. Phew, that was close. The boy seemed every bit as relieved as Ralph. "I'll say," agreed the mouse. "Keith," called his mother from 216. "Are you getting ready for bed?" "Sort of," answered Keith. "You better come in our bedroom or our bathroom and take a bath," said the mother. "Aw, gee, Mom, do I gotta?" asked Keith. "Yes, you do," said the father. "And don't forget to brush your teeth," said the mother. So what does Mom want Keith to do? Number 1, take a bath. Good job. And number 2, brush his teeth. Good job. "I won't," promised Keith. Then he whispered to Ralph, "You just lie down. I'll hurry and take a bath and get into bed and turn out the light. And after Mom comes and kisses me goodnight, we can talk more." Lie low indeed. Ralph was indignant. He couldn't lie much lower if he wanted to. And he certainly didn't want to sit around waiting to talk. He wanted to get out of that wastebasket. Once he was out, he would see about talking, but not before. What does Ralph want to do? Get out of the trash can. Good job. Ralph could hear the boy splashing in 216's bathtub and then hastily brushing his teeth in 215's wash basin. That's an old-fashioned word for a sink. Remember how I told you this book is really, really old because I read it when I was in 3rd grade? After this, there was the sound of a suitcase being opened and clothes dropped on the floor. The boy hopped on into bed, and to Ralph's relief, the light was turned out. In a moment, Mrs. Gridley came in to kiss her son good night. "Night, Mom," said the boy, sounding as if he were already drowsy. "Good night, Keith," said his mother. "It looks as if we're going to have to stay here for a few days. Your father refuses to budge. So Mr. Gridley doesn't want to leave the hotel, right?" "That's okay," muttered Keith, giving the impression he was not asleep. "Good boy," said the mother. "You're a good sport." "Good night, son," said the boy's father from the doorway between the 2 rooms. Keith did not answer. Instead, he breathed slowly and deeply, and, as Ralph thought, a bit too noisily. There was no sense in overdoing things. What's the boy pretending? He's pretending like he's asleep, right? As soon as all was quiet in the next room, the boy swung his legs out of bed, fumbled around in his suitcase, and shone a flashlight into the wastebasket. Ah! Almost blinded by the unexpected light, Ralph held his paws over his eyes. Hey, cut that out! He could not remember to be polite. He didn't want the light shining in his eyes, but he's like, gee, I was sort of rude. Oh, sorry. The boy laid the flashlight on the bed where its beams shone across the wastebasket rather than into it. That's better, said Ralph. Now how about getting me out of here? As an afterthought, he added, please? What does Ralph want out of? He wants out of the trash can. Good job. The boy ignored the mouse's request. How would you like to ride my motorcycle? He asked. Ralph's heart skipped a beat like a motor missing on one cylinder. The mouse-sized motorcycle really would run after all, and there was one thing certain. Since the motorcycle would run, the boy could not expect him to ride around the bottom of a wastebasket. Sure, Ralph tried to stay calm. He's super excited because he might get out of the trash can. The important thing was to get out of this prison. He braced himself, dreading the touch of the boy's hand on his fur. To Ralph's surprise, the boy did not reach in and grab him. Instead, he slowly and gently tipped the wastebasket on its side and permitting Ralph to walk to freedom with pride and dignity. Thanks, said Ralph, genuinely grateful for his consideration. I believe you're okay. Sure I'm okay, said the boy, setting his motorcycle down beside Ralph. Did you think I wasn't? You never can tell. Ralph put his paw on the handlebar of the motorcycle. It's a real beauty, even with the bent handlebar. I'm sure sorry about that. Do you remember how the handlebar got bent? When it fell into the wastebasket. Good job. Forget it, said the boy reassuringly. It won't hurt much. The motorcycle will still run. Ralph threw his leg over the motorcycle and settled himself comfortably in the seat. Perfect, just perfect. The boy was obviously delighted that his motorcycle was just right for a mouse. Ralph could not have agreed more heartily. It was perfect, except for one thing. He didn't know how to start it. Well, go on, said the boy. Ride it. Why is Ralph not riding it? He doesn't know how to start it. Good job. Ralph was ashamed to confess his ignorance. I don't know how to start it, he admitted. It's the first motorcycle I've ever had a chance to ride. You have to make a noise, the boy explained matter-of-factly. These cars don't go unless you make a noise. The answer was so obvious, Ralph was disgusted with himself for not knowing without asking. He grasped the hand grips and, fearful lest his noise be too squeaky, managed a vroom. Sure enough, the motorcycle moved. It really and truly moved across the carpet. Ralph was so excited that he promptly forgot to make the noise. The motorcycle stopped. Ralph started it again. Boom! This time he remembered to keep on making the noise. He sped off into a square of moonlight on the carpet and found a good threadbare spot without any bumps. Look out for your tail, said the boy. Don't let it get caught in the spokes. The spokes are like the part of the wheel. You don't want your tail to get caught in there. Thanks for reminding me, said Ralph, causing the motorcycle to stop. He started it again and steered with one paw while he reached back with the other, caught up his tail, and held the tip safely against the handlebar. It was a glorious sensation, speeding around the carpet freely and noisily, and most of all, fast. Ralph discovered that if he made the noise fast, the motorcycle sped up. If he slowed the noise, the motorcycle slowed down. He promptly speeded up and raced around the triangle of moonlight where he made another discovery. When he ran out of breath, The momentum of the motorcycle carried him on until he could take another breath. "Gee, you're lucky," whispered the boy. In order to answer, Ralph had to stop. Look at him. He looks so excited. He's riding it, and look at the smoke coming out of it. I am? It had never occurred to him that a mouse could be luckier than a boy. "You sure are," the boy said with feeling. "My mother would never let me ride a motorcycle. She would say I might break a leg or something silly like that." So why is Ralph lucky? Because he gets to ride the motorcycle. "Well, if you want to come right down to it," said Ralph, "I don't suppose my mother would be exactly crazy about the idea." He began to have an uneasy feeling that he really should be getting back to the mouse hole. "Anyway," said the boy gloomily, "it'll be years and years before I'm old enough to ride a motorcycle, and then when I'm old enough, my mother won't let me." Ralph felt really sorry for the boy. Why does he feel sorry for him? Because he can't ride a motorcycle, that's right. Hampered as he was by his youth and his mother, "Go on, ride it some more," said the boy. "I like to watch." Brum! Ralph started the motorcycle again, and he rode down in the moonlight, more faster, faster, until he was busy from circling, dizzy with excitement, dizzy with the joy, never mind the danger, never mind what his mother thought. This was living! This was what he wanted to do, on and on and on! "Lucky," whispered the boy with envy in his voice. Ralph did not answer. He did not want to stop. What's he having fun doing? Riding the motorcycle. Tomorrow's chapter, or actually we'll read it on Thursday, I think it is, because tomorrow we're going to answer some comprehension questions, is about adventure in the night. So Ralph has discovered riding the motorcycle, and he's very excited about it, and he loves it. He's like, my mom probably would not like this idea. What do we know about Ralph's mom? Remember, she's a worrier. She worries about everything. So we have to find out tomorrow or the next day what kind of adventures in the night they're going to take. Where'd you go? I was going to say hi with Bella, but she went away. Maybe we'll see her the next time. Okay, have fun reading, friends.